How dare you ask for Nigerians' votes after Obasanjo's revelation? APC campaign slams Atiku. Wow. So, so all of them are still looking for one thing or the other to nail each other. All right. So now they're querying Atiku, for asking for Nigerian vote after Obasanjo has revealed a lot about him in his book Under My Watch. I think so. All right. So let's see what APC has to say further in this query they are giving Atiku. The All Progressive Congress APC Presidential Campaign Council has on Sunday pleaded with Nigerians not to get swayed by the sugar-coated promises of the presidential candidate of the People Democratic Party, PDP, Atiku Abubakar. The ruling party's Presidential Campaign Council argued that Atiku is in a desperate position, hence he was trying to clinch the presidency at all costs. Can you imagine? Is APC not in a desperate position? Is APC not saying a milocon? So what are they talking about here? This is a case of pot cuddling the kettle black. This is coming barely 24 hours after Atiku pledged to duly grant the indigenes of Abuja all their entitlements and appointments when voted into power. The Waziri of Adamawa had promised to guarantee the aspirations of the Abuja people in a reviewed constitution. Yeah. So, however, the APC Campaign Council insisted that the former vice president is simply making empty promises. Speaking via a statement issued in Abuja by the Director of Media and Publicity for the APC Presidential Campaign Council, Bayo Onanuga, the party stated that it was quite a pity that the PDP, who had pushed Nigeria into its locust years during its time in power, was trying to rewrite history. He said, of course, this is fake history at its worst. We are not fooled. Nigerians should also not be fooled by the bold-faced lies being articulated by the candidate and his party. We need to warn Nigerians to be wary of the sugar-coated promises of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and his People's Democratic Party as they embark on their inordinate and desperate campaign to gain power at all costs. So this query now, is it not an inordinate and desperate campaign for APC to also clinch power? Again, I repeat, it's a case of pot calling the kettle black, and that is not accepted, right? What is more shocking is Atiku's audacity in standing up to ask for our vote, despite what his boss, President Olusegun Obasanjo, wrote about him in his book, My Watch. Obasanjo wrote that it would have been an unpardonable mistake and sin against God to foist him on Nigeria. Now, wow, Obasanjo still believes so till tomorrow. The PCC, however, insisted that they were not surprised at Atiku's desperation, as according to them, it is his last shot at attaining presidency. We believe in his private moment, all right, that Atiku will concede that his view about insecurity is exaggerated. Our country is certainly better secured than in 2015, when the PDP allowed insurgents to seize 17 local girls in Borno and some 4 councils in Atiku's home state of Adamawa State, when Abuja was under constant bomb attack and people slept with eyes wide open, it added. Can you imagine? So APC too is accusing PDP now. APC is coming to tell Atiku, why are you asking for our vote? All right, when you saw what your boss wrote about you when you were vice president. Obasanjo wrote Under My Watch that it would have been a sin on his part if he forces or allows Atiku to become president. He said even God wouldn't have forgiven him. Those were his statements. So APC now is telling everybody that they should not be moved or swayed by the sugar-coated lies that Atiku is telling Nigerians. All the promises he's making are all fake. And this is coming after Atiku promised the people of Abuja that he will, give attention to their yearnings, to their aspirations. All right, that even if it will require to do constitutional review for them to get what they need, so that they can also do their business in Abuja, that he's ready to do it if he's voted into power. Again, when Atiku said it, I also suspected him that this man might not be saying the truth. But for APC to come boldly to say Atiku is making bold-faced promises that he will not be able to fulfill and that they are all lies and Nigerians should not be swayed by that. Now wow. And even the APC is having mind again, having bold face to say Atiku want to clinch power at all costs because this is last shot of becoming presidency. Is not what Tinubu told his people too in a restaurant in London, that political power is not shared in restaurant. All right, that they need to grab it, they need to fight for it, and they need to snatch it, and they need to run with it. Those were the words of Tinubu to his APC member in London hotel or London restaurant. All right, and after making all those promises and saying all those things, other political parties, including the Labour Party, have accused APC of preparing ground for political violence in Nigeria. If they say their party should they should snatch power at all costs. Now, instead of them to resolve that or to come out and defend that, they are now accusing PDP that PDP is being desperate and making lofty promises that will never be fulfilled. These two parties, the more you look, the less you see. These two parties, you need to fear them, both PDP and APC, including their candidates. All right. So Atiku has actually promised in different fora that he will restructure Nigeria and he will carry out constitutional review to make sure there's true federalism in Nigeria. He's speaking the language that people want to hear. I don't see him doing that. And he kept on making that promise up till now. But the question is that he is also a part of those old crop of politicians of the old order that will make promises to get election, to get votes, and after the election and they win, to your tent, O Israel, everybody will be abandoned. That is the group that Atiku will also belong to. So by this write-up, I'm not supporting Atiku because I'm sure that he will not do all those promises that he's promising. And again, I'm also not supporting APC because APC has the worst background ever, and they have been more desperate than every other political party. And that's why their own aspirant came out to bring out the slogan, Emilokon. Emilokon means it's torn. All right. While Tinubu is doing Emilokon in the south, Atiku is doing Emilokon in the north, because Atiku is desperate to have this power, and he's saying it's torn by actions and by his body language. Meanwhile, Tinubu has boldly come out to say it to everybody that he's torn. So all these ones are taking turn on Nigerians, and that's what they've been doing since 1999, taking turn on Nigerians. Even prior to 1999, even the military regime, they were all taking their turns on Nigerians, forcing all of us to live a life that we didn't intend living, making Nigeria one of the poorest and impoverished countries in the world. And then there's talent and talent drain now, brain drain, people running from Nigeria now to other countries because of the bad government that both PDP and APC have given us, both in the past and the present. And they expect people to take it from them. So APC has no moral justification to say PDP should not be voted because they want to take power at all costs, because that is also what they're driving at. In fact, APC is more desperate than PDP. All right, I repeat it again, it's a case of pot calling the kettle black. They are both of the same kind in different cover-up. That is what they are. So we don't want that, and let them go and steal their own. We don't need them. We don't need PDP. We don't need APC. Somebody say Obasanjo'S guide with Atiku is well understood. Atiku aborted the Obasanjo third-term agenda. OBJ is on a vendetta revenge mission, but OBJ, has failed, period. Can you imagine? So you are very understanding, you are very understanding the game I use to mock our people, how they turned everything upside down because of politics. Correct? Right? So another person say, Mr. Atiku, which Nigerians do you want to vote for you? when your intentions is to come and embezzle more public funds to build more private universities for your family, our eyes have opened, Mr. Atiku. Can you imagine? Your eyes are closed now with Buhari on the saddle. Abi, are you not fed up with APC government? That's a question somebody else is asking there. All right. So both APC and PDP are not needed. Let them go and sleep. That's the gospel truth about it. We need a fresh breath, fresh air from a fresh party. And that party right now is no other one but Labour Party. So thank you for listening. Those are the comments that we have. And let's have your comment below as well.